Have you ever wondered why some people in their 90 seconds still walk briskly, have sharp memories, lace up their shoes, and head to the park every morning, while others in their 60 seconds struggle with heart disease, diabetes, or are even bedridden? It's not just luck, nor is it solely about good genes. The difference lies in the small things they do every single day. Science shows that longevity and health depend heavily on daily habits, not just genetics. You can't choose your parents, but you can choose how you move today, what you eat for dinner tonight, and what time you go to bed. These small choices, when sustained, can rewrite the trajectory of your health. In this video, we'll explore 8 habits practiced by people who live long, healthy lives into their 92nd or even 102nd. The best part? You can start implementing them right after watching. Stick around until the end, because the 6th habit might surprise you. It's so simple that even doctors are amazed. If you care about your health, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Now, let's dive into the first habit. 1. Regular movement. What if I told you that you don't need a gym or a marathon to live healthily into your 92nd? The secret isn't in exhausting workouts, but in how your body moves gently every day. Look at the blue zones, like Okinawa or Sardinia. They don't stare at mirrors in gyms. They walk to the market, tend to their gardens, climb a few steps. Movement there isn't a goal to conquer. It's a way of life. You only need one small habit. Walk for 20 minutes every day. This habit can significantly reduce the risk of heart disease, steady your heart rate, calm your blood pressure, and stabilize cholesterol. Your brain gets nourished too. The memory center can grow instead of silently shrinking. Simply put, every step today is a brick laid for a sharper memory tomorrow. Meet Elena, 68, from Barcelona. She used to sit for hours at her sewing machine, lately forgetting her keys, feeling dizzy when standing, and sleeping fitfully. Her doctor said, after dinner, walk for exactly 20 minutes, focusing only on your breath and steps. The first week, her legs felt heavy. By the third week, her morning blood pressure stabilized, her head felt clearer, and her sleep became restful. She said returning home felt like unraveling a tangled thread in her mind. Without change, the slippery slope of sitting too much would drag her memory down and make her body lazier each day. And if you stay sedentary? In just a few weeks, muscles weaken, fat seeps into muscle fibers, blood sugar slows, and your heart strains for simple tasks. That sluggish, unfocused feeling isn't just age, it's your body losing its ability to adapt. 1 year of low movement can drastically reduce muscle strength, and it takes far longer to regain it. So start now. Stand up, place a hand on your stomach, inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 4. If your shoulders are tense or your breath is short, your body is signaling you. Put on shoes, walk a fixed loop around your house or the nearest park for 20 minutes. Move fast enough to still hold a conversation. When you return, mark an X on your calendar. Tomorrow, do it again at the same time. It doesn't need to be perfect, just consistent. With just 20 minutes a day, you're laying the foundation for a resilient body into your 92nd, a steadier heart, a sharper mind, a lighter spirit. But exercise alone isn't enough. There's another secret, even more critical, what you eat every day, and that's the second secret. 2. Balanced and healthy diet. Can you believe it? By changing just one small eating habit, you could add up to 10 years to your life. No extremes, no suffering, just a simple tweak to bring your body back into balance. Major studies show that eating plant-based, limiting red meat, refined sugar, and processed foods can significantly extend your lifespan. That's the eating rhythm in places like Okinawa and Sardinia. Sweet potatoes, soybeans, seaweed, whole grain bread, lentils, greens, and olive oil. They eat slowly and stop at 80% full. Hara Hachibu. No fleeting trends, just fresh, minimally processed food. Meet Martin, 61, from Manchester. He used to rush through lunch with a sandwich and soda, then make up for it with red meat at dinner. His weight climbed, his waist expanded, and his morning blood sugar hit warning levels. Martin didn't overhaul his kitchen. He added vegetables to every meal, swapped white rice for brown rice or oats a few days a week, cut red meat to 1 or 2 meals, prioritized fish or beans, cooked with olive oil, and ate slowly to 80% full. 3 weeks later, His waist felt less tight, his blood sugar stabilized, his sugar cravings faded, and he no longer felt drained in the afternoons. He said dinner now feels like shedding a heavy backpack. Without change, those fast, red meat-heavy meals would keep spiking his blood sugar and nudging heart risks closer. Because eating isn't just about filling up, it's the fuel that determines how fast your cells age. Colorful vegetables deliver antioxidants to put out damage. Whole grains and legumes keep blood sugar steady, easing diabetes risks. Healthy fats from olive oil and avocados nourish your heart. Eating simply and balanced, you're investing in a clear-minded, steady-walking, independent old age, even at 90. But here's what you need to hear closely. When ultra-processed foods dominate your plate, heart risks climb alarmingly. Red meat, fast food, canned goods, sodas, they push weight, blood pressure, and blood sugar out of control. Silent threats like diabetes or stroke creep in quietly, and the cost is always steeper than swapping one dish in the kitchen. Try it tonight. Eat slowly, pause every few bites. Take a deep breath and ask, am I 80% full? If yes, put the fork down. Add a handful of vegetables, swap some white starch for brown rice or oats, replace today's red meat with fish or beans, and cook with a tablespoon of olive oil. Finish the meal, mark an X on your calendar. Tomorrow, do it again. We've got the foundation, daily movement and healthy eating. But to live long and strong, 3 numbers can't be ignored: weight, blood pressure, and blood sugar. And that's the third habit. 3. Managing weight, blood pressure, and blood sugar. 3 numbers may seem simple but can determine whether you live decades in good health or face disease. Weight, blood pressure, and blood sugar. Think of them as your body's dashboard. In the safe zone, everything runs smoothly. Cross the threshold, and risks build up daily. Why do they matter? High blood pressure puts constant strain on your heart and arteries, paving the way for strokes or heart attacks over time. High blood sugar silently damages small blood vessels, nerves, kidneys, and eyes. Excess weight makes both worse, pulling you closer to type 2 diabetes and heart disease. The good news? You can take charge. Checking blood pressure at home once or twice a week gives you far better control than ignoring it. Weigh yourself weekly to catch upward trends early. Get regular tests to track blood sugar and cholesterol. In the kitchen, cut back on salt and sugar, add more greens, and prioritize potassium-rich foods like bananas and sweet potatoes to naturally lower blood pressure. And aim for about 150 minutes of moderate movement, weekly brisk walking or cycling to help your body burn sugar efficiently. Meet Elena, 59, an office manager in Madrid. Long meetings, salty meals, and evenings too tired for exercise. Her weight crept up, her blood pressure monitor occasionally flashed worrying numbers, and her fasting blood sugar hit warning levels a few times. She didn't flip her life upside down. On Tuesdays and Fridays, she sat quietly for 5 minutes, then checked her blood pressure, noting it in her phone. Every Sunday, she weighed herself at the same time. In the kitchen, she cut salt by half a teaspoon, swapped soda for water, added a banana to her snack, and boiled sweet potatoes for dinner. At day's end, she walked briskly for 15 minutes around her neighborhood, adding a few extra minutes on weekends to near the 150-minute mark. After 3 weeks, her morning blood sugar stabilized on clinic results, her blood pressure stopped fluctuating wildly, and the post-lunch fatigue vanished. She slept deeper, and her old jeans buttoned up easily. Without change, those out-of-range numbers would have quietly eroded her blood vessels. A sudden dizzy spell could have been a late warning. You need a clear reminder. These are silent killers. Many only discover high blood pressure or diabetes when hospitalized with complications. A Nature Medicine study found that chronic inflammation often tied to high blood pressure and blood sugar can raise heart risks by up to 40%, even without other diseases. Ignoring these numbers is like driving with a flashing red warning light. The longer you dismiss it, the higher the cost. What to do tonight? Sit still for 5 minutes. Measure. Write down the first number. After dinner, step on the scale. Jot down another line. 2 small data points, 1 big habit. Starting tomorrow, use a pinch less salt, swap sugary dessert for a banana or a serving of sweet potato, and take a 15-minute brisk walk after work. Keep it steady, and your body's dashboard will gradually settle. You've seen the weight of these three golden numbers: weight, blood pressure, blood sugar. But no matter how healthy you eat or how consistently you move, without the next factor, your body can still decline fast. That's sleep and water, the fourth habit. 4. Enough sleep and water. Did you know that just a few nights of poor sleep or forgetting to drink water can age your body as if you've added a decade? The marvelous machine called your body only runs smoothly when it gets enough rest and steady hydration. Skimp on sleep, and your memory slips, your immune system weakens, stress hormones spike. Sleeping less than 6 hours a night can raise your heart disease risk by up to 48% and diabetes by about 30%. Even mild dehydration, just 1–2% of your body weight, can sap your energy and make focusing hard. The mechanism is simple. Deep sleep is when your brain switches to cleanup mode, clearing out waste, including beta amyloid linked to Alzheimer's. Good sleepers wake up sharper, remember faster, and feel steadier. Water, meanwhile, is your body's underground river. It carries nutrients, regulates temperature, flushes toxins, and keeps skin plump. Without enough water, every gear grinds to a halt. With enough, they spin smoothly. Meet Helen, 64, from Portland. She used to sip late-night coffee, scroll her phone before bed, and forget to carry water. Lately, she was irritable. Her head felt foggy, her skin was dry, and she was exhausted by afternoon. Helen made small changes. She set a fixed sleep-wake schedule to hit 7–9 hours, turned off screens 90 minutes before bed, and kept her room cool and dark. She started her day with a full glass of water left out the night before and carried a small bottle to sip throughout the day, adjusting to her activity level. 3 weeks later, she stopped waking up at night. Her mornings were clear-headed. She had energy to walk her grandkids in the afternoon, and her skin felt less parched. Without this shift, those sleepless nights and dehydrated days would have quietly eroded her memory, mood, and resilience, and the realization often comes too late. Many tell themselves, "I can handle it," until their body stops repairing itself. Irritability, trouble focusing, poor memory, dry wrinkled skin, and health issues arrive early. That's not the fate of aging. It's an urgent signal that 2 recovery pillars are being neglected. Test it tonight. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier than usual. Leave your phone in another room. Turn off all screens at least 1–2 hours before bed, and keep your room cool and dark. Tomorrow morning, drink a full glass of water first thing, then carry a bottle and sip throughout the day until you hit the right amount. In the afternoon, ask yourself, am I more alert, less irritable, better focused? If so, that's your body saying, thank you. Enough sleep and water aren't luxuries. They're the foundation for a youthful body, a sharp memory, and a lighter day. But no matter how well you do, 2 toxic habits can unravel it all. Just 1 cigarette or 1 daily drink can steal years of health. That's the 5th habit. 5. No smoking, limited alcohol. What if I told you that every cigarette could shave about 11 minutes off your life? And if you think, a little wine each day is harmless, the truth might jolt you. 2 things that seem like social companions are quietly adversaries to your lungs, liver, heart, and the healthy years at the end of your life. Science is clear. Smoking drives up risks of cancer, heart disease, and COPD. Alcohol, when excessive, damages your liver, harms your heart, and heightens risks of stroke and several cancers. A major 2018 analysis in The Lancet showed that even exceeding 1 drink a day nudges those risks noticeably higher. The good news? Your body is always ready to turn back. Quit smoking for a year, and your heart disease risk can drop to about half that of someone who keeps smoking. After 5 years, your stroke risk nears that of a non-smoker. For alcohol, the safe rule is a maximum of 1 drink daily for women, 2 for men, ideally as little as possible. In return, you sleep deeper, your skin glows, your mind clears, and your heart works without a haze of toxins. Meet Jack, 58, a sales manager in Seattle, whining and dining clients like it's his job. He smoked half a pack a day and had 2 glasses of wine each night to unwind. Then stairs felt longer, mornings grew foggy, and his blood pressure monitor flashed troubling numbers. Jack chose to turn things around with small, steady steps. He set a quit date for smoking, told his family, chewed nicotine gum when cravings hit, swapped his second glass of wine for warm herbal tea, skipped unnecessary drinking events, and joined a clinic support group. 3 weeks later, his dry cough nearly vanished. His sleep became restful. His sense of taste and smell sharpened. He said coffee suddenly smelled real. His blood pressure eased, and stares were no longer daunting. He admitted, without hitting the brakes, the haze of cigarettes and social drinking could have pushed him toward an unforeseen crisis. The scary part? Most damage happens silently. Each cigarette adds a crack to your blood vessels. Each extra drink leaves a scratch on your liver and brain. Over time, lungs lose elasticity, your heart weakens, blood pressure climbs, and one morning, a numb arm or chest pain might sound a belated alarm. You're not just betting years of life, you're wagering quality of life, the ability to breathe deeply without coughing, walk with your grandkids without gasping, or wake up with a clear head. Tonight, flip the script simply. Note when you usually light that first cigarette and swap it for a piece of gum. If you drink, pour a smaller glass and replace the second with warm tea or water with a lemon slice. Text a trusted friend that you're cutting back so they can nudge you. Each day you stick to your goal. Mark an X on your calendar. At week's end, ask your body, am I sleeping deeper, feeling lighter, breathing easier? Those small signals are your body's thank you. Quitting smoking and cutting alcohol isn't punishment. It's a doorway back to health. And when that door opens, you'll notice something else intriguing. Longevity isn't just about muscles or blood vessels, it's also in how you view life. Staying optimistic, that's the 6th habit. 6. Staying optimistic. What if I told you that simply staying optimistic could extend your lifespan by 15%, nearly a decade? Sounds like a pep talk, but science backs it up. Optimism isn't fooling yourself. It's a measurable mental habit. Your blood pressure steadies, blood sugar stabilizes, and your body recovers faster from illness. Why does the mind impact the body so powerfully? Chronic stress and pessimism spike cortisol. Your immune system weakens. Chronic inflammation fuels cellular aging. Stressed people face higher heart risks and faster memory decline compared to those with a positive outlook. On the flip side, optimism acts like a free medicine. Inflammation calms, healing speeds up. Regular laughter even lowers systolic blood pressure. You can see it on your home monitor. The big picture. Optimistic people often live longer, no matter their starting point. Meet Margaret, 68, from Leeds. Her husband recently had knee surgery. Her kids live far away, and her home felt empty. She lost sleep, woke with a heavy head, and her blood pressure readings jumped erratically. Margaret tried small, evidence-based steps. Before bed, she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. Each afternoon, she breathed slowly for 5 minutes, inhaling for 4 counts, exhaling for 4. At night, she watched a short comedy clip instead of scrolling grim news. When problems arose, she asked, "What can I learn from this?" And on weekends, she shared tea with her cheerful neighbor. 3 weeks later, her sleep was restful. Mornings felt clear, her blood pressure steadied, and she stopped misplacing her keys. She said it felt like shedding an invisible suit of armor. Without this shift, waves of cortisol would have kept rising, and the cost could have been prolonged fatigue or an unexpected vascular event. Negativity doesn't shout. It leaks slowly, draining energy unnoticed. Living in anxiety and pessimism is like adding poison to your day. Shallow sleep, poor memory, early wrinkles, and slower recovery from illness. Don't let dark thoughts silently steer your body's ship off course. Test it tonight. Place a scrap of paper by your bed and write 3 small things you're grateful for: sunlight through the window, a kind word. Sit upright for 1 minute. Close your eyes. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4. Repeat until your shoulders soften. Before bed, watch a short comedy clip or call a positive friend for a real laugh. Tomorrow, when trouble hits, swap, "Why me?" for "What can I learn here?" That night, ask, am I lighter, sleeping better, less irritable? If so, that's your body and brain responding. Optimism isn't dodging reality. It's building resilience to move through it more intact. And when your mind feels lighter, another factor bolsters longevity in a deeply human way: connection. Maintaining social bonds, the 7th habit, can determine how long you thrive. 7. Social connections. What if I told you that maintaining close relationships could extend your lifespan as much as quitting smoking? Sounds surprising, but the human body is wired to thrive in connection. When you have someone to talk to, lean on, your heart rate steadies, your breaths deepen, and long days feel lighter. Long-term studies show that people with strong social networks live significantly longer than those who are lonely. Humans are social creatures. Being cut off from community is like unplugging a running machine. Loneliness escalates stress, ignites chronic inflammation, and triggers a cascade of risks. Heart issues waver, strokes loom, memory frays faster. On the flip side, a warm meal with loved ones, a heartfelt chat, or just the sense of "I'm not alone" can soothe your nervous system, lower stress hormones, and bolster immunity. Meet Thomas, 71, from Brighton. After his wife passed, with his daughter busy in London, his apartment often sat silent. He ate hastily in front of a screen, stepped out less, his knees stiffened, nights grew sleepless, and his blood pressure fluctuated. Thomas turned things around with small steps. Tuesday dinners with his granddaughter, Thursdays at the library's book club, Sundays calling an old friend in Glasgow for real talk, and nightly 15-minute walks with a neighbor to ease into sleep. 3 weeks later, the gray cloud in his mind lifted, his sleep became restful, his blood pressure dropped a few points, and his steps felt nimble again. He said the smell of morning toast seemed richer. Without action, the inertia of loneliness would have quietly pulled him downhill. Less movement, erratic eating, and one day, silence could have turned into an unpredictable illness. Loneliness doesn't shout. It seeps through solo meals, evenings without check-ins, long days without plans. The older you get, the easier it is for your social circle to shrink. Don't let isolation quietly become a habit. Social media can help connect, but your brain craves the warmth of a handshake, a real laugh, a genuine glance. Tonight, test the power of connection. Open your phone, text a cherished friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Coffee tomorrow at 10 near my place, and set a weekly 30-minute meetup. If you can, eat dinner with family, put phones aside, and share a small story that made you smile today. This week, sign up for a hobby-based activity, a book club, volunteer group, cooking class, so meetups are scheduled, not left to feeling like it. After each encounter, ask your body, am I breathing deeper, sleeping better, waking clearer? When the answer is yes, that's the free medicine called connection. Love and belonging are the heartbeat of longevity. They keep your heart warm, your mind sharp, and your feet eager to step out. And for a truly full life, there's one final piece found in the longest lived. They nurture hobbies and healthy routines. The 8th habit awaits your discovery. 8. Keeping hobbies and good habits. Why do some people stride past 90 with sharp minds and nimble limbs, while others slow down and forget early? The answer isn't in tough workouts or pricey tech, it's in small hobbies repeated daily. Your brain, like a muscle, grows stronger when you engage it with what you love, forging new, lasting connections. People who sustain creative activities like drawing, writing, or playing music face lower risks of cognitive decline. Gardening, knitting, or reading keep the brain rewiring. The big picture is clear. Add one small healthy habit daily, and chronic disease risks soften over time. Meet Ruth, 72, from Boston. A former elementary school teacher, she recently struggled to recall old students' names, froze at the fridge forgetting what she needed, and felt bored and sleepless by afternoon. Ruth didn't chase trendy skills. Each day, right after lunch, she spent exactly 15 minutes by the window, sketching what was in front of her: a cup, a leaf, a pair of shoes, then wrote 3 lines about something interesting from her day. On Saturdays, she treated herself to a community art class at the library. 3 weeks later, her sleep grew restful, she remembered. I need milk at the kitchen door. Calls with old friends flowed without forgetting names, and each morning she looked forward to what she'd draw. She said it felt like opening a window in a long, stuffy room. When you drop hobbies, your brain loses reasons to forge new paths. Boredom and isolation creep into quiet afternoons, fueling low-grade stress, sinking moods, and fraying memory. But each time you pick up a pen, touch garden soil, or play a note, your brain bathes in small triumphs. Your nervous system calms, blood pressure and breathing steady, and confidence builds like soft armor for aging. Small acts, done consistently, don't kill time, they nurture it. Tonight, test if your brain lights up. Pick a simple hobby that sparks joy. Read 10 pages, tend a herb pot, write 3 journal lines, or sketch something small. Lock it into a fixed 15-minute slot, tied to an existing habit like after dinner. Set up your space, book on the table, pen by the notebook, plant watered. After 15 minutes, stop, mark an X on your calendar. Repeat tomorrow, no matter how busy. After 3 days, ask, am I sleeping better, recalling things faster, feeling brighter? If the answer is yes, those are new neural pathways forming. We've walked through 8 golden habits, from movement, healthy eating, sleep, monitoring key numbers, saying no to smoking and drinking, fostering optimism, building social bonds, to nurturing hobbies. Now comes the most critical question. How do you weave these into your daily life, starting today? Meet you at the conclusion. We've explored 8 golden habits that help countless people worldwide stride past 90, still vibrant and sharp. Move daily and eat balanced. Monitor your body's 3 key numbers. Sleep well and stay hydrated. Say no to smoking and limit alcohol. Nurture optimism. Maintain warm connections. And keep small daily hobbies to exercise your brain. Each sounds simple, but when repeated steadily, they build into a long, fulfilling life. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. Lay 1 brick tonight, walk for 20 minutes, or add a serving of vegetables to dinner. Start with one thing, tonight. Once that small step takes root, other habits will follow easily, and your body will respond with deeper sleep, steadier breathing, and clearer mornings. Want to dive deeper into a piece many overlook: sleep? Click the video on your screen now. I've distilled simple, effective tips to help you sleep better and recover faster. If this resonates, hit like, subscribe, and share it with loved ones. You might just gift someone years of health and happiness. Thank you for joining me to the end. Remember, longevity isn't just in your genes, it's in the choices you make today. Pick one small thing, do it now, repeat it daily.